Hello, this is Shira, and this is your Leo full moon outlook report for February 16th, 2022. So, to start off, we have a stellium in Aquarius. We've got Mercury at 1, almost 2 degrees Aquarius. We've got Saturn at 17 degrees, and then we have the Sun at 27, almost 28 degrees of Aquarius. And of course, that makes an exact opposition with the Moon at 27, 59, almost 28 degrees of Leo. So, let's break down what Aquarius and what Leo mean to get a better idea of what this full moon will be about. Aquarius. Aquarius is about friendliness. Aquarius is an air sign, so it is intellectual, unemotional, and detached. Aquarius is about the future, technology, genius, and creativity, although rather unusual. It is about what is very stylish, and Aquarius deals with not only our humanity and ideals and objectives, but it deals with the masses, the collective, if you will. Then we've got the Leo full moon. Leo, what is Leo representative? But Leo is magnanimous, whereas Aquarius is more reserved, detached. Error. Leo is fire, flamboyant, showy. Leo is very big-hearted, very giving, and generous, and rather warm at that. So, when we have a opposition between the very generous and warm-hearted Leo moon, and we have Aquarius sun in a more detached style, the opposition lies in that we will have to find a balance between our need for attention and to be expressive and warm in our love and being more detached and friendly, being loving but not being rather open and obvious. Because we're talking a fixed sign emphasis here, there may be a concentration or concern that, yes, we may feel taken advantage of. We will have to find the balance between our idealism of Aquarius and pulling away and somewhat becoming objective or taking an objective stance with regards to our sympathies and our expression, but not being too cold and being more expressive and finding ways to express our creativity, our desires without going overboard. It's finding the balance between love and affection in a more warm-hearted manner and becoming more objective. So if we can find that balance within this fixed sign full moon opposition, because it very well could be an issue in personal relationships and, yes, the public, the collective, the masses, because the moon is in Leo and the sun is in the very public sign of Aquarius. So there could be some conflicts publicly, but in our lives, we again will have to find that balance between detachment and warm-heartedness. And especially since we've got Saturn, although elevated, in restrictive or unusual Aquarius as well, but we are talking Saturn here, and Saturn wants to be expressive and creative and very humane, but it is fixed. So we can be a little bit fixed when it comes to our personal philosophies and beliefs, and especially accentuated with Mercury in Aquarius. And when you've got the Sun, Saturn, and Mercury in somewhat of a cold, more intellectualized sign of Aquarius, and then you've got the moon all by itself in Leo, we will have to show those that are closest to us how we really feel without feeling like because of this opposition we are taken advantage of, and learn to express our creativity, Leo and Aquarius, as well as our personal style and creativity in the highest, and feel like we accept ourselves, even if we feel like we are not accepted for our ideals and opinions and our personal style. However, this is a great full moon for expressing just that. Our style, our creativity, our sense of originality, and that is in always artistically, of course, as this will be with this axis, a very creative time frame. There's going to be the emphasis on expressing our daring, unique, somewhat eccentric style and way, individuality. But at the same time, we will also have to be accepting of other people's opinions and idealism, because both Leo and Aquarius are somewhat very select when it comes to personal style, and we will have to be careful not to inflict our opinions on other people, philosophy, religion, outlooks, belief systems, and this will become prominent right now. It's about finding the balance between what we believe and accepting others, and being generous to what other people believe as we are coming into the full moon. This will be the moment of discussion about our belief systems, and that can go further into cultural differences, background, so on and so forth, because we are talking Aquarius here and the love and warmth and affection of many with the sign of Leo. Okay, so we've got, now look at this, we've got Pluto moving way along here into Capricorn, and now Pluto is at one of the late degrees of Capricorn. So it's very interesting, this particular full moon, because we have Pluto, which has been in Capricorn for quite a long time, now at 27 degrees. So it's going to have somewhat of an Aquarian feel to it as Pluto moves closer to the sign of Aquarius. Interestingly enough, we have the sun at 27, 28 degrees of Aquarius, somewhat of a Piscean feel, and more of an emotional sense of love. And although this detachment is still there, we're still dealing with the sign of Aquarius. This degree and 28, 29 degrees before 0 degrees Pisces is more along the lines of the psychical, that which we cannot see, the precipice between Aquarius and Pisces. So these are also going to be very strong matters of interest and discussion now. The metaphysical, astrology, psychical, because the sun is late in Aquarius. And then, of course, Leo is at roughly 27, 28 degrees. Leo, the precipice between Leo and Virgo. So this Leo this Leo full moon will be, yes, very heartfelt, very colorful, but the moon and the feelings with each other exchange will have a tinge of Virgo, where we will have to kind of pull back on some of our critical errors and look at the more loving, warm, and giving, generous Leo moon. So this will be very interesting. The feel of Aquarius, the feel of Pisces, and the feel of Virgo, although in Leo, Aquarius, and Pluto in Capricorn. Now we will have a look at this too, an exact conjunction almost to the very minute, very powerful Venus-Mars in Capricorn. So we're talking the planet of love and sympathy with the planet of action and daring, expressiveness, and in conservative Capricorn. So although Mars is most elevated, it is with Venus, and Venus is now more kind of toned down in her expression and more conservative, more serious about love and romance. And Mars, well, Mars, although elevated, is in Capricorn. So Mars will want to put the brakes on equally with love. And the depositor of Venus and Mars is, as with Pluto, is what? Saturn in Aquarius. So this gives a lot of power to the Saturnian aspects, and with Capricorn and the Aquarian way. So although we want to express ourselves, we've got Venus-Mars, which is a very sexy, very intense, and very somewhat of a possessive, magnetic connection here, especially with an almost precise conjunction with Venus-Mars. So, advice. This is a month that we must, or the time of the full moon, we must really try to do the best we can to express our emotions to those closest to us in relationships, family, friends, whomever. Because There's a great desire for ambition and the future and our humanity and intellectualism, which is wonderful. But we may find that we are finding a tinge bit of coldness, yet refinement with regards to our relationship. Kind of like we have everything going, we want to express ourselves, and love is very intense, but there's a certain chill, if you will, about our need to be emotional. Like we want to really express at our best how we feel for those closest to us, but we find ourselves kind of intellectualizing everything, kind of finding ways of going about our love than more the watery emotional connection. And again, that brings us back to the full moon with this axis and feeling somewhat like we want to gain attention and have love and warmth, but we are finding ourselves, and more further emphasized with Venus and Mars, feeling like, did I say the right thing? Did I do the right thing? And feeling like we have to be, well, Venus and Mars, prim and proper about doing the right thing in love, saying the right thing in relationships, and that can come down to, business and not going overboard about expressing ourselves. But if anything, this is the time to really kind of do just that, because we don't want to feel like we are too accused of not being feeling. But the Venus, Mars, and Capricorn is very appealing. And then you've got now late Pluto in Capricorn. And so there is an out of sign. Look at that. Pluto edging towards Aquarius. There is an out of sign conjunction with Pluto and Mercury. And this will be stressed in Aquarius. So this only furthers, yes, this Aquarius connection this month. But we are talking intense Pluto here with Mercury. So we'll have to just kind of watch what we say, because we should be, or we could be, so serious-minded we could almost border on being grim. Grim and yet very unique and very different. So on one hand, with the Mercury-Pluto conjunction, it's saying what is on our mind and meaning it and being very businesslike, very serious, and rather ambitious with the Capricorn emphasis, and the need to be, yes, different, maybe a little eccentric, and very more refined and kind of very, yes, intellectual, smart, brainy, futuristic, what have you. So we will have to just pull back on being overly opinionated. It's what it's about. Our opinions, and not going overboard with those opinions, and yet not being overly cold or serious-minded with our love towards others or expressing our creativity. It's kind of a Aquarius Capricorn full moon this month. Okay, so we've got Jupiter in Pisces almost at 11 degrees at 10 minutes and 54 excuse me, 10 degrees and 54 minutes. And then we've got Pisces, Neptune at 21 degrees, 57 minutes. So this is roughly 22 degrees. So Pisces is now moving on, and eventually further this year, Jupiter will then conjoin Neptune, and that will be a wonderful period of time. Talk about creativity, talk about spirituality and beliefs, and really joining together the masses. And there could be breakthroughs looking at the more practical emphasis. And as I've stated before in other reports, there's going to be a strong emphasis with regards to not just that which is religious or spiritual, but the medical, because Jupiter and Pisces are connected with the 12th house. That's the behind the scenes. It is the mysteries. It is the metaphysical. It is about secrets. So yes, the closer Jupiter comes to Neptune, the more secrets are going to come out of the box later on this year. But like Virgo, its opposite sign, Jupiter and Neptune with Pisces are indicative of medical breakthroughs. And I love that Pisces Aquarius connection around the time of the full moon. There could be some medical issues or some interesting cures that come about, yes, or the medical healthcare profession will either go one way or the other. There could be some unusual remedies that come about now because of the Aquarius emphasis, yet very helpful and futuristic. And that which is of Pisces, of medicine surgeries, because the 12th house is not only of health, but is also of surgery. So there could be some information that comes about for some procedures right now that are very broadening to our horizons, because we're talking Jupiter as it will move closer and then a conjunction to Neptune. This is going to be very rewarding. So at this time this year, at one point, moving further ahead, there could be, yes, in fact, some kind of procedure, cures, or a paramount connection with health and health care. And what else is Pisces? That which is healing, that will become very well renowned and prominent this year. So we have a wonderful connection, a wide sextile between Venus, Mars, and Jupiter, and that's very generous. So that will lend some positive support to our outlook on this full moon. We've got that connection with business, goals, objectives. So it's kind of like this full moon, even though it's not a new moon and it's a full moon, is giving us a fresh start. Like we are going to achieve our aims no matter what. And connecting with those that are going to be of inspiration to us, Jupiter, Neptune. This is a very productive and enlightening, also Pisces sextile, and that will include a wide sextile to Neptune as well. Lots of aims that we are going to be looking at right now in our life. It's about what we want and obtaining our goals and feeling the energy to do so. Very inspirational. Okay, so we then have Uranus in unpredictable Uranus yet, and it is now at 11 degrees. So next month, not this month, but very likely on or around the 1st of March, there then will be a square off with Mercury to Uranus. Now that occurs the very end of February and early March. So that's more or less the new moon report next month. But we will have to watch for conflicts and arguments. And again, because Aquarius rules the masses, this could be some public disagreements. So we have now the nodes in fixed Taurus and Scorpio, no longer the Sagittarius Gemini connection. And the nodes are always a point of sensitivity, kind of like the moon. And wherever they are in our charts is where we feel most sensitive, and we have to balance the nodes in whatever house and sign placement they occur. And in this case, we have intense Scorpio, and we have very fixed, stubborn Taurus. So, for example, if you've got this axis, say, in your 1st and 7th house, it will be about balancing relationships, 1st, 7th house axis, and not becoming too possessive or intense in all love affairs or connections with the public or contracts. And it is about being more detached and less fixed on what you feel you own. And that could be, in that case, with the 1st, 7th axis, your partner, or those you do business with, or very stubborn about legal contracts, for example. Okay, because we're dealing with Taurus and Scorpio. And round it goes. Look up your personal chart. So, we've got Chiron in Aries, a fire sign. And so the focus, which will be emphasized, especially with Chiron in Aries, will be about what? Ourselves, because Aries is about me first and daring, take charge, enterprising attitudes. And Chiron is a healer. So we will have to look inwards and discover what our personal values are. And we will also be discovering about how our attitudes are about taking action and doing that which pleases us. And that is where our healing comes in. So this is going to be a rather pertinent full moon. If we develop the balance between being warm-hearted and magnanimous and giving, and being more friendly and objective, and not going overboard with our sense of braininess and intellectualism, and really show our affection and develop a more idealistic, that word again, and yet very sympathetic, the Pisces influence, point of views, well, then this Leo full moon will indeed be full of affection, warmth, yes, doing the right thing, ambition, and kindness. If you'd like to get in touch with me, my contact information is down below. I give one-on-one readings and written reports. Please subscribe to this channel and press the bell notification. Until next time, many, many blessings.